What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to a top 100 squad battles rewards video. That is right, I am due to finish in the top 100 for squad battles today, and I'm going to explain to you first and foremost everything that I know about squad battles now that I've played it for the whole week. And secondly, I'm then going to show you my team. I'm then going to show you some gameplay for the final 4 games that I play, and then finally we're going to get into the packs. So, you can see we've got 7 hours, 55 minutes until next competition. I'm currently 13th in the world. If I have a good 4 games, there's a chance I can finish top 10. But it's very, very weird how squad battles works. Basically, you get to carry over one set of game when the opponents are ready. So, what you can see right now, you see how on the bottom left of my screen it says update opponents. If I had not played these 4 games I played, I could play them first and then update them. So if you miss Monday's games, when you log in on Tuesday, you can play Monday's games, then update, and then play Tuesday's games. However, if you miss Monday's and Tuesday's games and you log in on Wednesday, you're still going to have Monday's games there, so you can still play Monday's games, but then when you refresh, when you update your opponents, Tuesdays will be gone. So you get one carryover per event. What's important is to see how much time is left on each set of opponents, so you can kind of figure out how much time you've got until you have to play to allow the carryover to work. From what I understand, from what's happened this week is there was 4 games a day Monday through Friday, and there was 12 games per day Saturday and Sunday. The clock went at 1 AM UK time until 1 AM UK time Monday through Friday, and then at 1 AM on Saturday it was every 8 hours. So 1 AM till 9 AM was the first 4 games, 9 AM till 5 PM was the second 4 games, and 5 PM till 1 AM was the third 4 games. So obviously you probably can't expect people to play at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning if they're in the UK. So your 1 AM to 9 AM games might be the ones that you play when you get up, and then you refresh them to play the afternoon games. But just keep that in mind, that you don't want to refresh too late because you might miss a batch of games. And I think a fair few people have done that here this week. So in terms of the point scoring system, the way it works is, I'll go through it a little bit more at the end of a specific game. I'll show you guys in a little bit more detail. But the way it works is on your difficulty that you're going to play against someone. Let me update my opponents now. So we've got our 4 new opponents. On the difficulty that you're going to play someone, if you play them on ultimate difficulty, you get a multiplier of 2.6. Legendary is 2.1. World class is 1.6. Professional at 1. Semi-pro at 0.7. Amateur 0.6. Beginner 0.5. If very possible, do not bother playing on semi-pro, amateur or beginner. Specifically, don't bother on amateur or beginner. You're not going to get any points really to take you out of bronze, I'd be honest. If you can, start a professional. If you struggle on professional, work from semi-pro. But what seems to be the case is that winning by 5 goals to 0 on a difficulty is about as good as winning by 1 goal on the next difficulty. So if you can win 5-0 on professional and you struggle on world class but you get wins, it's better to play on world class. And similarly, if you play on world class and you can 5-0 it every time, it's better to 1-0 or 2-1 on legendary than it is to 5-0 on world class, just because of how the multipliers work. So in terms of the rankings, there was a problem with the Ultimate Team servers, of course there was. In terms of the rankings, I'm currently ranked 13th in the world. The points total scales, so it is a dynamic points total. So depending on the total number of points in the game, as more people play and earn points, the targets to hit each level gets harder. So you can't just go and get 7,500 points in gold 2 and then stay there and think you're going to stay there, because the next day it might be 8,500 points for gold. Right now, it seems like it's really, really easy to get to elite. And the reason why that is because it's early access. People have run out of their 10 hours. People don't have the full game. Not everyone's playing it. I'm absolutely certain that when the full game comes out, it's going to be considerably more difficult to get elite than what is currently on board right here. Even right now, Elite 3 at 14,000 points, you could achieve this by playing professional difficulty, probably semi-pro. I think you can get 700 to 800 points per game on semi-pro, so if you played the full complement of games, you could probably get Elite 2 by doing it on semi-pro if you 5-0'd it every game, which just goes to show how low these ranks are. That it's going to be far more difficult. So right now, as I say, like Elite 1 is 28,152. By the end of this video, Elite 1 is going to be considerably more difficult to get to, maybe 28,500, 28,600, because the points scale up based on points earned. In terms of the top 100, I don't know how it would separate people on the same points. I guess games played. The top 100 is accurate to a level, but not entirely accurate until the very end of the week. And the reason why is because games do carry over. It might be a case where these two guys below me, right here, they might still have their 4 games from earlier. So they might still have 8 games available, whereas I've only got 4 games available. So I can play 4 more games. I'm getting anywhere between 2,000 and 2,700 points per game. If I stay around the 2,000 mark for the rest of my games here, for my 4 games here, I'm probably going to end up dropping out of the top 15 and maybe dropping out of the top 20. But if I can get the maximum points available to me, which is about... I can get 2,800 points a game. I'll be happy with 2,500 points a game. If I can get 2,500 points a game and finish on 73,000 points, I might have a chance of finishing in the top 10. And if number 1 and 2, and if all of the guys above me run out of time or games, I might finish number 1. That's very, very unlikely. This Aduro guy, he seems to be on the ball. He's tweeted me a few times, and I think he's going to end up finishing up number 1. But it would be nice to get to number 10. So that is squad battles. It is. What you see here, guys, poor man, that's not Nick, surely. What you see here is community teams. So teams that players, like just a random player, literally just goes and takes a community team and gives it. So we've got this guy, Issa Dub here. You can thumb up on the right stick, and you can see the formation and the custom tactics. And this can be useful. The fact that they play a balanced attack and a balanced defense means that you should also just play a very balanced game. They've got quite low chemistry and a low rating, so we're going to have a look at their team by pressing triangle. They don't have a very good team at all. So this one, if you bounce between world class and professional, this sort of team you might want to go on to world class for, because it's going to be a little bit easier to beat because they don't have the best of players and they don't have the best of chemistry. The poor man's road to glory here is a 4-3-3, dribbling low pressure. So for me personally, the fact that it's a low pressure team means that I will play attacking football, because if I've got players built up, they're not going to press me. It's going to make it really easy for me to get in behind. And when we take a look at this team, they've got a much better team, very decent players, some okay players on the bench there, and this is quite a nice team. And right now as well, as we take a look at the other teams, so balanced on Sweaty Betty FC as well. Now what you see here is a touch confusing, because I didn't realise this myself either, but I sit there and think, man, how have they got these sick players but then this trashy defence? They are actually loan players. So this will be the guy's lone Neymar, he'll get the lone Ronaldo and the lone Gareth Bale. And the same when you see Messi and Ronaldo. Maybe he has this player, maybe this is actually his card, but it's probably a lone version of that Ronaldo. So this team here is going to be really difficult to play against. I probably won't get many points. And this team, this is ridiculous. Wow, this is an 88 rated team with an incredible bench. Ronaldo, these are the loans. These are literally the loans. I think you get that Ferdinand from... you get a lone Rio Ferdinand from the Journey 2. Sorry if I spoiled that for you, but you do. Hazard, Lewandowski, Neuer, Ronaldo, these are all loans that this guy's got from the catalogue. Some of these won't be loans, some of these are Calcio defenders, but although this team is a 188, it's actually not too difficult to play against, because it doesn't have the Ronaldos and the Neymars and the Hazards and the Ferdinands in the team. So this might be a nice, comfortable win. So we've got 4 games to play here, guys. As I say, I'm going to be playing on a pretty decent difficulty. I'm going to be playing on Legendary personally for me. That's what I play on. Try and get the maximum number of points. I will come back, as I say, to show you how the point totals work. At the end of my 4th game, we'll do that. I'll come in live and we'll take a look at where I'm likely to finish and how it's likely to happen. Now, the team that I'm using, dudes, it's not a super team, but it's not a bad team. I've got some very good players in there. Heung-min Son is decent. Lacazette and Salah are very, very nice. Bakayoko, Dele Alli and Herrera are my midfield. Van Dijk, Aurier, Azpilicueta and Luke Shaw are my defence. And then I've got Lloris in goal. So I've got a competitive team. So one thing to note for you guys as well when you start playing this game mode, when you get the full game, is that these are community teams. So as the community gets better teams, these teams in general are going to become far, far harder to beat, because as soon as the game is fully out, you're going to be coming up against random teams. You might start coming up against full icon teams, full inform teams. You know, there's going to be a real good scope of teams because it literally takes the community's teams, right? And that as well in mind is if you have a bad team, because my team's pretty decent on the grand scheme of things, right? That Lacazette is very big. He scores a lot of goals for me. My defense is very good. So my team is quite strong, which is why I'm able to comfortably beat this on Legendary. But even if you're a good player and you've got a starter pack team or your first starter team, you might struggle against some of these teams on the level that you think you're able to win on, because they're better teams than you, and the AI obviously takes that into consideration. So guys, these are the 4 teams that I'm going to play. I'm going to go and play the games. I'm going to record them. We're going to show you guys the footage of the goals, and then at the very end I'm going to show you the skill points and how that works. And then after that, I'm going to wait for the 8 hours to be done and dusted, and then the rewards will be here. According to Dungeons and Dragons, one of the fuck guys, immediately, essentially, a couple of minutes after the competition closes, the rewards are dished out. So bear that in mind, that your final 4 games you cannot carry over to the next session. The final 4 games have to be played within the final 8 hours, otherwise you are going to be missing out. So that, guys, is my set. Let's get into some gameplay. Okay guys, as we go into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against got an 89 chem 77 rated team. It's a pretty weak team, and this is something important for you guys to take note of. When you come up against these weaker teams with low chemistry, they are typically a little bit easier. So if you fancy yourself at a bit of a higher level, but you're not always the best, this is the time you're going to want to go against them. The first game, usually there's 2 really easy teams and 2 quite difficult, challenging teams. Sometimes you'll get 1 really easy team, 1 good team, and 2 great teams, or a mix. But generally speaking, you get like a very, very comfortable team. Now, as you're watching some of my goals, guys, I want to explain to you how the multipliers work. So the first image you're going to see on the screen in the corner right now is going to be the image that you get after you win a game. This is taken from the screenshot of my final game in this batch of 4 that we played. And what happens is there are limits that you can get for the things that you achieve. So once you get to a certain stage with something, it's more important focusing on something else. For example, in the goals category, you get 40 points per goal. No matter what difficulty you play on, you get 40 points per goal, up to a maximum of 200 points. That 200 points is then capped. So it's capped at 5 goals, which is why you will constantly see me reference 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Is because once you hit 5 goals, you can't get any more points for scoring goals. But what you can get more points for is shots on target, coins for corners, clean sheets for tackles, possession and pass accuracy. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of what I understand are the maximum limits for the ones that I know of. So for goals, you get up to 200, which is 5 goals. For fouls, I don't know, you lose 5 points / coins per foul. I don't know what the limit is on that. The man of the match, winning man of the match, gives you 15 extra points. Your pass accuracy is up to a maximum of 80%, and you get 1 point per percent. So if you finish on 70% pass accuracy, you'll get 70 points. If you finish on 80% pass accuracy, you'll get 80 points. If you finish on 90% pass accuracy, you will also only get 80 points because it caps. Then you go to possession. Possession caps to a maximum of 60%, 1% possession per point that you get. And successful tackles, to my understanding, caps out at 20 for successful tackles. You can see in the screenshot that you see on the screen right now, I got 17 tackles. And you can see right now, the squad battles progress, I got 2,637 points in total. And I'm going to take you through this screen as well in a few minutes. In terms of corners, you get 5 points per corner. I'm unsure as to what the maximum is. In shots on target, you get 5 points per shot on target to a maximum of 50 points. So once you've had 10 shots on target, you don't even have to focus on that. So basically, the aim is to get 5 goals, 10 shots on target, and keep a clean sheet. Because for keeping a clean sheet, you get 75 more points, and you also lose 20 points per goal to a maximum of 100. So if you lose your clean sheet, not only do you lose a 75 point bonus, but you lose 20 points immediately. It's a 95 point swing for conceding 1 goal, which is why keeping a clean sheet is absolutely vital. But it's more important to score 5 goals than it is to concede 0 goals. So a 5-1 is better than a 4-0, if that makes sense. And that's because of the way the multipliers work at the very end. For offsides, I'm not entirely sure what you lose for offsides or for getting a card. I don't really get that very often, so I don't really see that. And then you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner where it says summary, the point total that it carries over is the one that says skill rewards. So that 368 coins that I got before the multiplier gave me a boost of coins, that is a skill reward that it takes into the next screen before it multiplies your screen. Your total. And as we move on to the next screen, you can see my squad battles progress. This was for my game 4. You'll see I picked up 2,413 points. You can see there the skill bonus of 368 is what I got. The match complete, I got 314 points. Now, the match complete is based on the level of difficulty that you play against the AI on, the team rating, and the chemistry to my understanding. I'm not entirely sure exactly how it works, but that's the best of my knowledge that I can get to. The match result is quite simply 200 points for a win and 50 points for a loss. The skill bonus is what you get from the skill things I've just explained to you. And only the match complete, the match result, and the skill bonus, only those 3 are affected by the difficulty bonus. You can see there my difficulty bonus is 2.1. If you lose a game, you get 0.7 difficulty bonus. So even if you're, like, if I lost this game 2-1, all the work I would have done in the game would have been irrelevant. So again, it's much more important to be able to win primarily so that you get your difficulty bonus, your match result, and your match complete. Then it's about scoring goals, and then it's about not conceding. Those are kind of like the primary targets. The goals tally goes up again to a maximum of 5 goals, but it's a different number of points per goal per level. For example, on the ultimate difficulty level, you get 160 points per goal to a maximum of 5 goals to a maximum of 800 points. On legendary, it's at 120 points per goal to a maximum of 700 points. Then it goes down to world class, I believe, takes you at 100 points per goal, I believe, for world class. So it takes you to 500 points per. And the difference between world class and legendary is actually a huge jump in goal points, in difficulty bonus, in match complete. It's all such a bigger jump that if you like the difficulty between professional and world class, the difference of what you get isn't necessarily so huge, or isn't huge to the point where what's better is winning narrowly on world class is better than slamming professional. But in legendary, the difficulty is so grand that winning narrowly on legendary, I'm pretty sure is as good as, if not better than winning by 5 goals on world class. What I'm going to do is over the next few days and weeks, I'm going to get like proper totals and tables to show exactly what the kind of ratio of points will be in a range between winning narrowly or stomping the AI on every level. So we can get a table that we can come back to, so you can have a look at if you're constantly beating the AI 3-0 on professional but 1-0 on world class, you can have like a rough look at what you would get for each one and where it would actually benefit you. Now into the 4th and final game for me, guys, here, just before we go into the 4th game, the goals total that you see on this screen, this is just added at the end. So that's why it's more important to score 5 goals than it is to keep a clean sheet, because the skill bonus is never as big as a goal total, which means, well, when you get 5 goals anyway. So even including the difficulty bonus, that extra clean sheet is never relevant enough to fault you by too many points. And the extra goal is not important enough, the lack of goal doesn't really change much in the skill bonus either. But the goals total, where it says 560 points for me right there, that's the one that I needed to get to 700. And that's where the big points come from, is getting 5 goals per game. And then the great big points come from keeping a clean sheet too. Now in this game that you see, guys, this one actually ended up going to extra time at 1-1. And with 9 minutes left, I was thinking to myself, this is not good. I might go to penalties. I might even lose the game. This was a tough game for me. But going to extra time actually ended up being a blessing in disguise. If I had won the game 2-1 in normal time, I would have not got the 2,400 points that I picked up by the end of the 120 minutes. However, what ended up happening is that once I got the second goal against the AI in extra time, they went all out attack to try and get back into the game, and it made it very, very easy for me to score goals. So I ended up going from 1-1 in the 112th minute to 4-1 in the 120th minute, picking up a huge boost of bonus points, which was obviously very, very important for me in my quest in the top 100. You know, what I wanted to do was try and get to top 10. I didn't quite manage it. We still got incredible reward structure. You'll see the rewards just after the gameplay. You can see here though, guys, we beat the AI 4-1 on this occasion, and this is literally the screen that you've just been looking at for the whole of this gameplay, showing you what I picked up for each of the individual skill points, and then that carries through on into the final screen to give me my total coin bonus. But guys, this is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's go and get into those rewards. Alright guys, so we ended up finishing 12th in the world on squad battles. 2 positions outside that top 10, which is a bit disappointing. I would have got an ultimate pack for the top 10, but I'm happy to come 12th. I don't know if I'll ever get top 100 again, because now the full game is going to be out for the next week. It's going to be a lot more difficult, but let's claim these rewards and see what we get. So there you see I came 12th in the world in squad battles. 2 rare players pack, 1 jumbo rares players pack, and 75,000 coins. So that is right, guys. And now we also have the Antoine Griezmann featured squad. On this squad, you get a lot of points even for playing on beginner. So I think this is a good one to help boost the overall points up. I actually think this is probably to boost the ranks up here. So it makes it harder to get into the ranks. Of course, there's no top 100 yet because it's too early. Nobody would have finished the game. But this Antoine Griezmann featured squad includes his 99 rated card, 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, and these for in-game stats. So you're going to have to play against this in the featured squads battle. Not only are you going to have to play against this card, but he's also got Icon Henry and Ronaldinho. He's got Ferdinand on the bench, and then a pretty decent team throughout the rest. With that in mind, guys, let's go and open up our rewards. 2 50k packs, 1 100k pack, and of course, we got the 75,000 coins as well. Let's go, EA. What do we get from our squad battles rewards? First pack is going to give us, it's a board down. Is it going to be a big player? I saw Portuguese and I thought, could it be Cristiano Ronaldo? It was João Mario. It's actually a very nice card. Really, really well rounded. An 83 rated, of course. So we get João Mario, Fekir, which is good. Vieto, Pulisic, which is quite nice. A few duplicates here that we're going to send up to the trade pile that I'm going to hang on to now until full release. We're going to go into our rare players pack number 2. Do we get another flare? I would expect so. Yes, we do. Can we get something good? It's an inform! Let's go! It's the Colombian striker. Oh, it's Falcao. That's a big pull. 86 rated inform. Let's go! That's a huge pull, guys. Come on. That is one of the biggest pulls I've had on this game so far. I don't think it's worth all that much right now. Yeah, like maybe 20, 25,000. But once the full game comes out and you're required high-rated informs, he's going to be worth a hell of a lot, in my opinion. We get a couple of good duplicates as well there with Zaha, Walcott, and Daily Blind. Some very nice duplicates indeed. And that leaves us now with our 100k pack. Give me an icon, EA. I beg you. It's not an icon. It's not an inform. It is a walkout. It's French. It's a CDM. It's Kante! Let's go! What a huge pack that is. Kante. We get ourselves the inform Falcao. That is a massive pull, guys. 87 rated. N'Golo Kante walks out of the boards and gives us a momentous pack. And an inform as well. How about that? Aranguiz, Semedo, Costa, what a pack. Costa's worth like 20k, maybe 15k, 20k. That's really, really nice. We get ourselves N'Golo Kante in there as well, who's selling right now for about 200,000 coins. That is huge. That is huge. Those rewards for me, guys, were fantastic. A lot of duplicates here. We got 2 informs. We got N'Golo Kante. Oh man, that was huge. I can't remember who our first player. Oh, it was João Mario. We'll send all of those duplicates up to the trade pile, and then these guys go into the club. What a fantastic set of rewards for playing the AI, guys. Kudos to EA. I had fun in the game mode this week. This is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.